Chairman, members of the board, I was kind of afraid to turn the lights out after that lunch. Hope we won't lose too many people. That was really good. We were asked to do an update on the aquifer recharge concept that we're doing within the district, and what staff wanted to do was actually give just a little bit of background for the new board members, and I don't see him here yet, but we'll try to stretch it out a little bit. And roll the aquifer concepts into not just what we're doing with the Atkins work in the northeast part of the district, but these are just to make sure that we understand these are concepts that we can apply, that we possibly could apply at other places in the district, depending on the situation. So the work that we're doing is going to be beneficial to the district as a whole. Now, historically, I know some of you, probably most of you, have seen this map before. The reason why we're in the situation we're in is historically we've seen some declines in the water table in Florida aquifer. You can see where it has encroached upon the district. This is data that was from pre-development through 1980, and this was published by the USGS in 1988 in a publication. In 2010, the district completed its district-wide water supply assessment. Lo and behold, the northeastern part of the district has been declared water resource caution area, so that kind of falls into that declining aquifer levels. In 2011, the young man that we introduced this morning, Trey Grubbs, did another study on the Itchituttony, and this is one of the graphics out of it, just basically confirming that we're having some lowering of the aquifer levels in the district.
Those lines, I suspect, is water direction.
This is flow direction based on the potentiometric lines. The flow is perpendicular to the lines, so that's kind of the general, just the way you read the potentiometric map.
And then the blue topographical looking lines are indicative of depth to drill to hit water or height of water table?
That's the elevation of the water table. Think of
Closer
it
the
as like a
line,
topographic map of water table.
The closer the line, the deeper it is.
The closer the line, the steeper the gradient.
Steeper the gradient, so, okay.
So you can see along Mallory Swamp, it's real steep. When you come off Mallory Swamp, it drops off real fast down towards the river. And it flows to the northeast on the west side of the river, and it flows back towards the river on the other side. And that divide is where it starts flowing back the other way.
Carlos, does that divide the Cody Scarp?
It has migrated to the Cody Scarp. It's not the Cody Scarp exactly, but that is, in general, that is where the Cody Scarp is. It trails off this way in the northern part of the district. But yes, and in general, yes, it has come over and kind of matched up with the Cody Scarp.
The Cody Scarp in Jefferson and Madison is more down near the coast there.
Yes. Yes, it comes up and bends back around and then dips back a little bit to the south as you get back up in the north and northwest part of the district. We've spent the last few years looking in detail at the areas to the northeast part of the district, and Dr. Cole has realized that now these are right out of our hydro conditions report last year or last month. You saw Megan's map this month. It kind of looks about the same. This is September 2012. This is October 2012. We see something going on up here in Jefferson County. We can't turn our focus away from just looking to the east. We have to keep our eyes on the entire district as far as water supply issues go. And also there's this Alachua County. There's a lower part in Alachua County we need to be concerned with. Just making sure that may be a data anomaly or whatever that is. If it turns out to be real, then we need to consider it. That's why we do a water supply assessment every 5 years. We keep updating that information, and that gives us most current information. Yes, sir.
Carlos, I know that we're all intent on the east and we're working with St. John's and so forth, but I suspect Dr. Cole is pretty concerned with that little red dot out there, and I don't hear much about us working with Northwest and with Georgia in that regard, and yet I know that picture would extend in that direction. Is there activity with Northwest Florida, and can you tell us a little bit about what's going on?
What we've done with Northwest is we took a paddling trip with their executive director and assistant executive director on the Wacissa.
Wait, but that's down in the blue area though.
Carl,
Yeah.
that's not exactly right. I saw the pictures, you said paddling trip.
Some,
Now listen, if I can't believe you when you say that, how long have we?
I don't know, but I got bumped off that trip.
What I saw with him and John Stevenson, they didn't have any paddles, there's one motor on the back.
I tried my best to get him into a boat with paddles, but he refused. So
Right.
somebody had to drive. Everybody else wanted paddles, so
This kid.
I sacrificed myself. It wasn't much easier trip.
But yeah, it's something above the Wassessi, what they do, so.
Yeah, but the whole point being is, we're starting, on our priority list, we're moving to the west also, and we're getting Northwest involved in those setting of those MFLs, because we know we need to work with all of our neighbors. And there's another slide here where we're still coordinating with Georgia. We're still having those regular meetings with their staff. Dr. Cole's been to the last several of those, and if you would like to comment, I think we're making good progress with them. They're very positive. They're
They're
asking.
nice cordial meetings, but we haven't really accomplished much. We're doing, but they're pumping water out of the aquifer to pour it into surface water, though, in Jordan.
Exactly, and dealing with those interstate issues is kind of touchy based on what we've got going on in Northwest, but we're trying to explain to them, and I think their EPD staff is starting to understand that we've got groundwater issues, they've got surface water issues, and there may be, we need to coordinate there. There's a lot of talk about, we need to get together, we want you to show us this, with their limited staff, and they deal with the entire state, and their office is much smaller than ours, than just one district office, and that, I think but we're still making that progress, and I think that's important.
Well, I think too that, to begin with, they kind of balked on setting that minimum flows and levels from that, what is that river?
The Omaha?
Yeah.
Us on the Omaha, yes.
And now John told me that instead of agreed, let's set minimum flows.
They've looked at the technical report on that, we sent the information to them. I think we need to dust that off and take another look at it. We have a document.
I think that'll be some.
Our strategies, now, how do we recover or prevent, or whatever term you want to use in relation to whatever resource you're looking at, what are the strategies involved? Well, we have to do water conservation. I think that's top of the list. We're not going to focus on water conservation today, but that's one of the things that we can all do. I think we showed that with some of the contracts that we approved today. Alternative water supplies, water resource development projects. Now, these two are different. Alternative water supplies and water resource development projects are different. Alternative water supplies are those sources of water that you can use instead of groundwater, fresh groundwater. So we're looking at another source. It's an alternative to pumping what you're normally pumping. The water resource development projects are a little bit broader. We talked a little bit about dispersed water storage today. We've got the Upper Florida Aquifer Regional Recharge concepts, and we also have the North Florida Replenishment Initiative, which that bullet probably should be above the Atkins work, because that's part of that initiative, and I will explain that a little bit as we go. And as we just talked, coordination with adjacent water management districts and with the state of Georgia. These are all the strategies we're going to do, we need to use in order to deal with those declining resources. Now, just briefly, alternative water supplies, again, you're using reclaimed water to offset your groundwater use, your stormwater harvesting, surface water. These are just, you're going to use that source instead of groundwater to supply your water needs in order to help the resource.